You can be 100% right on your ideological stance, but if you don't care that you're hurting your brother's heart or your sister's heart, then you're 100% wrong.
We find ourselves in this considering what's going on with national politics and religion, and it feels so big. And then I think another thing for us that's really practical is like, how are we showing up in our own local community?
Yeah, that's
and
good.
So whether that is your church family or your employment situation or whatever, for us being really active in economic and community development in the greater Fresno region, it like being able to show up differently to a table that has a diverse group of people there and be like, hey, God doesn't call us to be like the angry white Christians that are like pounding the table for law and order. Whatever community we find ourselves in or you find yourself in, being a different voice and just kind of stopping conversations cold that with people who may want to pull on that thread of the aggrieved, angry white Christian, oh, everything's going to go to hell if we don't, reelect a certain candidate. Be the person who's, wow, I really see things differently.
Yeah.
And so that's another just practical step.
You had a friend that sent you a text this week that's from a community of color, if we can say that and he said, I'm so hurting from watching what my Christian friends are saying on Facebook about, and this was directly about Kenosha and about Jacob Blake.
Yep.
And maybe that's some of what we're trying to reflect to our white evangelical Christian friends is maybe you don't have proximity to some of the people that we've been privileged to get to know in this season that then text us and say, oh, I'm hurting so badly from what I'm reading. Maybe you don't understand that when you put some of those things on Facebook, our brothers and sisters from our black, brown, what's the word we learned this, BIPOC?
Yeah.
Is that I love learning these terms, which means Black, Indigenous, people of color. We learned this week how much we're hurting their hearts when we do some of these things. And should that matter to us? If Jesus said, you've heard it say don't murder, but I say if you call your brother a fool, you're the one that deserves hellfire. And is there a chance that he would be saying to us today, you can be 100% right on your ideological stance, but if you don't care that you're hurting your brother's heart or your sister's heart, then you're 100% wrong. 100% wrong. And that's what we're trying to say is our ideological, theological purity become more important to us than standing with real human beings around us who are hurting. And I think the answer is yes.